Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode here on the DEANO Show. Great to be back with you all for this week's episode, July 23rd, 2026. While I just said that out loud, I actually was thinking about the song Time by Pink Floyd, and I'll bring up some of the lyrics. But it's just crazy that it's already July and how quick this year has gone by, how quick this summer has gone by. The fact that it's pretty much August next week is just crazy. But I was actually talking to my parents, and then I was also talking to a friend about this time and trying to understand time and how much time you have when you are young. And, yes, I am 23, I am young, so I theoretically do have time, but not really because I'm already 23. I've already out of college. Like, time is just going. And I'll read you these lyrics in Time by Pink Floyd. If you know the song, you obviously know these lyrics. But it says, "And you are young and the life is young, and there is time to kill today. And then one day you find 10 years I've got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun." Yeah, it's just, in reality, no, there isn't time to kill because you think that, but then you look back and 10 years I've got behind you and you missed the starting gun. So if you are listening to this and you are around my age, make the most of your time. It is all you have. Time is your most valuable asset, especially when you are young. I think any really successful person in this world who are in their 50s, 60s, so on and so forth, would give all their millions of dollars away if they could just be young again. So that's my message to start this show. But World Cup final, and we've been talking about this really ever since it started here on the DEANO Show, and honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do without the World Cup. We've officially hit the dead zone of sports, which I got a question about you guys, which we'll discuss later on in the show. But pretty kind of lame World Cup final, if I'm being honest. Yes, I watched the whole thing. It was still entertaining to watch because it's the World Cup final. But, Argentina just got their asses destroyed. Like, they just had no offense. I think they had a total of like one or two shots maybe on goal. But I will say, towards, extra time, the minute, like 115th minute, 90th minute or so, when it did kind of look like they were going to score, they were getting the chances, even with a red card. So, towards the end of the game, it got more exciting, but that's just the nature of any sporting game. When it gets closer to the end and it's a tight game, everything gets more exciting. But purely in the beginning of the game, it was pretty boring. They were just getting completely dominated. Eventually, Fernan Torres broke through for Spain, and they ended up winning. You just got the sense it was going to happen. Spain was just pressing all game. Like I said, complete domination from them, both offensively and defensively. So, it was a good game. Good on Spain. They were the best team in the country. They were the best team in the world, and they proved that. They proved that to the entire world. It is pretty sad seeing Messi cry. This probably is his last World Cup. I think that's a fair assumption to say. If he comes back, that would be pretty amazing. That would be out of this world. But you never know with a player like that. So what a legacy. Lost 2 finals, won 1. So he's 1 for 3. GOAT of soccer. Sad times. This is kind of the sad time for a lot of World Cup players. I think I mentioned this on a couple of episodes ago. Ronaldo's done. Modric is done. Messi's done. Who knows about Salah, Van Dijk? There's a bunch of players where this was their last World Cup. So I'm excited. Now we got to wait another 4 years. So we'll discuss this 4 years later on the DEANO Show. But for now, congratulations to Spain. And yeah, they just were the best team this past World Cup. When I think of open tabs, hopefully I can explain this in a way that makes sense, but I'll kind of use an example. So I remember doing group projects back in college, and there would be people's computers who would have their Safari, Google Chrome, whatever it is that was open, and they would have about 50 open tabs on their computer, and you can't even really see which tab is which. And I think a lot of the reasons why people, especially in today's day and age, are so anxious or just so on edge or never really feel calm, they're just so worked up all the time, is because they have all these open tabs in their mind of things they want to do that either they're putting off, that they're not doing when they know they should, which creates anxiety because you're avoiding the thing you should do. That's anxiety 101. And 2 is because the same way a computer works slower when it has 100 tabs open, the same way your brain works slower when it has 100 tabs open. When you have so many things that you want to achieve, so many ideas or things you have to do, that you're not doing, that you're putting off, your brain and your body is going to be running on way lower energy. You're not going to be functioning at the best of your ability because you have 50 tabs open. So then you could ask me, well, which tab do I need to close? Just start closing any of them. Just start closing at the ones that mean the most of when it is that point in time you need to do something. If it is an email you haven't responded to, respond to the email right away. How do you get ahead in life? And, you look at any successful person of really in any category, I'm going to say, what takes you 3 weeks to complete takes them 6 hours to complete. They're just doing things whenever they get assigned to do it, whenever they get the idea, they're making the post, whenever they get the email, they're responding to the email, whenever they have a presentation due, they're preparing 4 days in advance so they're not anxious about the presentation. So they're just capitalizing on every time, and whenever they get an idea, they could put it out immediately. They don't let their brain think of what or why this could go wrong. No, they just do and do and do. And the more you just do and do and do and not think, I should be taking this advice myself, because that's like one of the biggest problems I have is I have all these ideas in my head of pieces of content I want to post or places I want to go, and I don't act on any of them. Therefore, I become more anxious because my brain is focusing on 100 different things, and 100 different things I'm not doing. So if that makes sense to you guys, moral of the story is just close your tabs. I think the richest person in the world is the person who can look back on their life and say, I closed all my tabs. I did all the things that I said I was going to do. I gave it my all and everything. I did all that I could. I worked my ass off in becoming the best cycler, becoming the best husband, whatever it is. If you can look back on your life at whatever age you are and say, you know what, I gave it my all, I controlled all the controllables, I think that's the richest person in the world. And it goes back to the conversation we had in the beginning of the show about time. Is this is the time to do everything and close all your tabs, because you don't want to be the person who, looks back with the regret of not going after something you actually wanted to go after. I'll give you a perfect example. I was at a bar this 4th of July in Newport, comfortable bar, maybe one or two many mudslides and Pacificos, maybe we could throw that into the mixture, but really no excuses for this. There was this cute girl probably 10 yards diagonally from me. Looked at her and I was like, oh, okay, she's more on the attractive side. If she came up to me, I would definitely entertain the conversation. We were both sitting there, we were both having conversations with our friends. I was talking to her, or I wasn't talking to her, I was talking to my friends for probably 45 minutes or so. I look over at her, we lock eyes for a solid 5 seconds. And we were just looking at each other. I kind of just like greened out and was just like, I think I mouthed to her like, I'll go over to you. About 15 minutes later, didn't move my seat, and then she left. Never saw her again. And that's the idea of leaving a tab open that should have been closed, because now I'm left with just the idea of wonder and what could have happened. It's unfair for me to daydream and fantasize about what could have happened, because I really have no idea, and I can't tell myself that it wasn't meant to be, because I never gave myself a chance to figure out if it was meant to be. So telling myself, oh well, it wasn't meant to be, is taking the easy way out, because in reality I was too intimidated to go over there, which is worse, because now I don't know what happens. I would have happily, looking back in this present moment right now, I would have happily looked back when got embarrassed or have her tell me to get away from me than I would in the position where I am, because now I'm left with complete unknown of what could have happened. Who knows? Maybe she's watching the DEANO show. Never will see her again, unfortunately. So the moral of this open tabs thing is, whenever you get an idea to do something, whether it's to go say hi to a girl at a bar, whether it's to post a piece of content, whether it's to just do it in the moment and just get it done, it feels so much better because you're just closing your tabs, and then you can focus on the other tasks that your brain has open. But if you're anxious, it's probably because you have a bunch of different ideas in your head about things you need to do, and you aren't doing any of them because you don't know which one to do. Just pick any and just start doing them. Close your tabs, whatever the tab is, just close them, just close them, just close them. Objects that stay in motion always stay in motion. So just stay in motion and just do more things. So that's my kind of little spiel for that. So the first question I got from you guys was, what is one place you would like to travel to that you have not been to yet? First place that comes to mind is India. Fascinating place. Both Vinyasa and Bikram yoga originated there. Maybe like a yoga retreat or something. I think that would be amazing. Also, you have the Himalaya mountains over there, which are beautiful, beautiful mountain range. So I'd want to go to India for the yoga. And then they just have really cool culture. It's a completely different culture from what we're used to here in the States. I mean, if you look at photos of New Delhi or just anything, just the chaos that happens on the streets, just the food markets, the food in general, all of it just seems so different from what we're used to here, because it is, but I just think it's amazing. Just totally culture shock. Go spend some time with like monks or something, like go live in the Himalayas with a monk. I think that would be so cool. I'm into that spiritual things. I got like Buddhas on my, I got Buddhas here. Like I'm into that type of stuff. Meditation, monks. I'm into that stuff. So that's why India would be really cool for me to go to, because it would just be like the hub of meditation and yoga and Zen world. Like that's India. And just all of it. New Delhi, Taj Mahal is really cool building. Is the Taj Mahal a 7 wonder of the world? I gotta look that up. Yeah, the Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world, so it'd be cool to see the Taj Mahal. But yeah, India is definitely a place that I want to go to that I haven't traveled to yet. I was actually in the kitchen the other day and I was like, Mom, I want to go to India. Like, I think I might be going to India. And she's like, well, you're not going without me. So I don't know, Mom. Maybe I do a solo trip to India in a couple weeks. I'll do this. No, never mind. Okay, so then the next question I got was dreams and goals for filmmaking and filming videos. One thing that's challenging, you could say, is wanting to go to all these places and make films or documentaries, or even just bring people along and make YouTube videos about it. Like, that's like my dream. Like, if someone asks me, like, dude, like, what's your dream? Is like to have a group of friends, to have a business, to have a product of something, travel and make videos. If I could find like-minded people who like to travel, who are ambitious, who are young, and who like to do spontaneous and make spontaneous videos and like to be comfortable being on camera, like, let me know and sign me up. I'll book a ticket right now and we'll go all the way across the world. Like, hand up right here. You've got your guy. That's what I love to do. I've only really kind of done it solo, hence my Bali videos and some of the other ones. Filming, I really like making documentaries, like simple, authentic documentaries. And the perfect example I have for this is Yes Theory, who's a pretty massive YouTube channel. They went to this island in the South Pacific and talked with this guy who lives on an island who's completely disconnected from the world. They visited his life pretty much, interviewed him about his day-to-day, traveled all around the island about how he gets food and all that. And like, that to me is a form of a documentary. And that's the thing that I would love to do. So that's my dream. That's my goal, is to travel the world and connect with people and experience the world from their eyes for however long I'm there for, and make videos about it. Because at the end of the day, we all have stories to tell in one way or another. And from my travels that I've done to going to Bali was completely eye-opening to me. The impact the people had on me in terms of relationships and how nice they were and how welcoming they were was like, I became addicted to that and just keep on wanting to do it more. So I don't have any trips planned right now, but I would love to make more videos like that and create more opportunities for myself in that world, which is, ultimately what I'm trying to do. And how I'm going to get there, I don't exactly know, but that's kind of out of my control at this point. Those are my goals for filmmaking and kind of my dream. Hope that answers your question. Next one I got was being content and striving for something greater or improving yourself. This kind of goes back to my earlier conversation about what I said, but I think you should not be content if you are youngish. Like I said, this is the time to not be content and try everything. I'm not saying sell everything and go completely off the face of the earth. No, not do that. But I do think like this is the time to take risks, to move to a new city, to try new things and experience the world as much as you can. There's so much unknown in trying everything when you are so young, and it makes the most sense to try everything when you are so young. So I don't think, if you have a good job, obviously that's great, and good for you if you're making good money. But I guess that just becomes normal for some people, as they start out a job, they're making good money, and then all of a sudden you got 10 years behind you and you're like, what the hell just happened with the last 10 years? I started this when I got out of college, and now I'm 10 years removed from college and I'm still doing the same exact thing. And that goes back to the Pink Floyd song about time. Is like 10 years got behind you, no one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. So I always think you should set goals for yourself and personal goals of places you want to arrive at with yourself in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Who's the best version that you can be? Always chase that person of you. So if you genuinely want to level up and you enjoy leveling up, then by all means keep on doing it. But don't settle, don't get content with yourself, because that's like the trap of looking back in your life wishing you had done more. So just try everything and do everything, even though if you do have a job, like, it is kind of hard to try everything and do everything because in some ways you're restricted, which brings up a whole other conversation. So yeah, I mean, I think it's hard. It's hard. I really don't have the answers, but I'm trying to come up with ways, and I hope what I've said, answers that question in some way. But I always think you should be striving overall as a human. You always should be striving to be the greatest version of yourself. And if you do that, then you're kind of never really going to settle in some ways. I don't know. It's a hard question to answer, for sure. I hope, yeah, you're really challenging me here, but I don't think you should, at least me personally, the way I'm wired is I don't want to be complacent. I just want to be in the game. I want to be fighting in the game, especially when you are young. And so if you are fighting, if you are becoming a better version of yourself day in and day out, then that's striving for something better, and that's totally okay. So definitely strive to be a better version of yourself every day, for sure. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. It's a great question, difficult question to answer, and I try to answer that in the best ability that I can. So, all right, so another one I got was, what is your favorite season and why? I think a lot of this depends on where I am. Like, if you asked me this when I was in Colorado, I would say winter, because skiing and all the fun that brings. But if you ask me that when I'm living here, I would not say winter, because winters in the Northeast are pretty brutal to live. But favorite season, I think spring is my favorite season, because you're just kind of getting out of winter. The weather's starting to heat up a little bit. That means golf is coming back. That means sports are getting exciting again. You got playoffs and all that stuff heating up. I think spring, because summer's great, but it just gets really hot in the summer, and like a 75-degree day, 65 degrees day for the spring, like that's amazing. So I'm going to say spring is my favorite. But then fall in the Northeast, or all the leaves are changing colors, kind of getting to that like cold pants and t-shirt weather, maybe a flannel. I'm going to say spring is my favorite season, because when fall's coming around, that means winter's slowly creeping up behind, and winters are tough on the East Coast. So I'm going to say East Coast is spring. That's my favorite season, spring. So the last question I got from you guys is, what is the best month for sports? So, okay, quick. I think this is an important part of this question, but depending on the time of year, if your team is in the championship, I think plays a huge role in this question. Like right now, I'm not really going to care. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not really going to care all that much about the MLB baseball, who wins the World Series, as much as I would if the Mets were in it. So let's think of it this way. So right now, we are in the complete dead zone for sports. Golf majors just wrapped up. We got MLB regular season. NHL is not happening. NBA is not happening. The World Cup just ended. All we really have is kind of baseball, and that's pretty much it. In the fall, we'll have the NBA starting, NHL starting, MLB playoffs. That's an exciting time of year. Football's back. College football's back. That's a good, exciting time. Then you have January, college football playoffs, NFL playoffs. Hockey's underway, basketball's underway, so that's a pretty exciting time of the year. But I would say my favorite time of the year is spring. It has to be spring, like the March and April time, because in March, golf season is just underway. The majors are just beginning. Then you have March Madness, and the first week in April is like the best weekend for sports, because you have the Masters going on, or starting up, NCAA Men's Basketball Championship happening around then, NBA playoffs are going on, NHL playoffs are going on. So yeah, I think spring is the best time for sports. Yeah, I mean football, like college football playoffs are exciting, NFL playoffs are exciting, but that's kind of all you have in around January and New Year's. So if you're a really big football fan, then yeah, that's an exciting time of year. But I'm not the biggest football fan. I watch Super Bowl and college football, all that stuff. Right, so yeah, comfortably my answer is March, April. Those are the best 2 months. That's 2 months for sports. So yeah, that was the final question for this episode of the DEANO Show. Hope you guys like this one. Great questions from you guys. Moral of today's episode, I would say, close your open tabs. Don't have 50 open tabs going on in your brain. Close those down, and then don't look back when you are young and wish you had done something while you are still young. So start something, whatever it is that you want to start. You got a business, you got a podcast, you want to start becoming a better coworker, you want to start approaching girls at bars, do it. Got nothing to lose. Just don't be a creep about it and be a normal dude. That's my best advice. Don't be a me and completely bitch out of a conversation. So now I'm stuck with that open tab forever, unfortunately. But that'll do it for this week's episode of the DEANO Show. Thanks for watching. If you are new here, like the video, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Thank you all. This is so much fun to do. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I'll see you guys in next week's episode. Peace out.